what about you, Nate? What's your experience when it comes to identifying those people who they could be dressed like civilians? Well, like, how difficult is that?
I mean, there's the obvious easy case where they got a gun, right? But that was probably a minority of the situations that were put in, where we can actually see the gun or see what you, some sort of threat. And I think it's just it's a culmination of experiences and kind of sensing that, something's wrong. Like, this person isn't acting correctly. This person isn't doing this or that. I remember, I think it was 2007, saw this guy pop out of a courtyard, a couple houses down while we were in Iraq. And it looked like he had like the boxing, diaper, that big padded boxing diaper. It looked like he was wearing that under his man jammies. And I'm like, did you guys see that? And he was like, no, I didn't see anything. He popped back out and I shot him because I was positive he had a bomb on, bomb underwear. And ended up he did, right? And so it was the right call. But it's just one of those things that, if that had happened to me in 2003, we probably would have gotten IED. You know what I mean? Because it was just that he was acting funny. I could tell there was something under his clothes. When he came back out, started coming towards us, I knew something was wrong. So it was really hard in a lot of those situations to make that call, and it's just a matter of seeing things over and over and over again. I think.
Yeah, I think that's with gunfighting and being the experience. Like Nate said, if it would have been years before that, probably wouldn't have made that call. It's like calling plays or reading plays, on a professional team or something. You can start reading things and you have that situation awareness. The more gunfights you get into, you know what people are doing on target different, like Nate was saying, and you can read it. But I mean, I think that's our biggest training at the unit is, hostage rescue and identifying threats. So that's the first thing you're doing on target. You're always looking for hands. You're looking for body bombs. You're looking for body armor. I mean, that is literally the first thing. When you see someone, that's the first thing that split second snapshot. That's what you're seeing. So, if the guy, if he doesn't look like he's doing anything wrong, he might be a threat in front of you, but he doesn't have anything on him or with him. Then you're going to the next guy and you're identifying that and seeing if he has anything. But I mean, it's fun when you get that good at it, and that's just from just fucking days and weeks and months of training for identifying target identification, in training that comes into on target, and that's what you're doing every freaking night. So you get pretty good at reading people and looking at hands and just seeing a bulge in someone's freaking man jammies,
Whoa, what are you looking at, Bob?
I shouldn't have said bulge. Hey, I'm looking down there too. Why not?
When it comes to the rules of engagement, because obviously the rules of engagement ever since the wars kicked off have been debated by politicians seemingly nonstop around the clock. But for you guys in a tier 1 unit, you're the best of the best, you're the tip of the spear. What do they tell you? If you feel like you got to do it, or is it because you said, Nate, you shot a guy assuming.
Yeah. So I will say that the ROE is the same across the board, right?
Yeah.
ROE is the ROE, right? But the difference really when you get into special operations in general, right, is that your command is going to go to bat for you instead of hanging you out to dry, right? In a regular unit, your commander might be like, you shouldn't have done that. And he's gonna be the one that ties the noose. Whereas our unit, our troop commanders, squadron commanders, those dudes are gonna go to bat and fight the good fight for you.
Well, you hope they would.
Yeah, you hope they do. But I think that goes into law enforcement today. People are scared to pull the trigger because they don't have top cover. know,
100% agree.
even though they're doing the right thing, they're scared. They're scared to do the right thing because one bad move or even the right move could get them prosecuted.
Yeah, they may have the top cover, but the problem is they also got the fucking press here, you know?
Yeah.
They don't like them.
And to clarify that, you know, those two situations with me and an 82nd dude, the same exact thing. And what the 82nd dude could have done is legal. It's just, you know, gray area or, you know, and the commander just doesn't want to hang himself out for it.
Right. No, I understand. So do you feel like, I actually had this question low on the list, but I feel like this is actually a good way to get in. When you see people either on the press, maybe on TV or politicians or whoever it might be, and they're judging you for your judgment calls that you made under fire, what do you feel when you hear from people who've never been in combat trying to judge you for what you did in very intense situations?
Oh, can I answer this?
Go ahead.
So hey, perfect example, right? We were out in Maymana, and we were doing vehicle interdictions. All right, so we were like the daylight.
This is the story we were talking about.
Yeah. So
perfect example.
Yeah, perfect example, right? So we're following this cat. We know he's a bad guy, with a bunch of dudes. Anyway, I'm not going to make a long story even longer, but we end up launching to go nail this guy. Well, we end up doing a vehicle interdiction on kind of like a main road, and
it was a highway.
Yeah, it was a highway, and they had a vote, and they voted the wrong way, and they paid the price, right? But the bottom line is, you know, things happened. We got shut down. We got bad press. We had I don't know I can't remember if he was a lieutenant colonel or a full bird colonel, PAO officer, conventional side, I believe, that was kind of in charge of Afghanistan, but he hung us out to dry as well. Gave us a bad narrative, like we hit the wrong target, all sorts of stuff. So we got hung out to dry, like literally, figuratively, we got hung out to dry. And, you know, our command was supporting us, but there wasn't much they could do. But bottom line, you know, fast forward another week and a half. Turns out we burned down the correct guys. They were all bad. And we had also fouled up an assassination attempt on the new friggin' Afghan president, right? So, you know, we do our homework.
And all of a sudden we're heroes.
Yes, all of a sudden we're heroes after they motherfucked us, you know, for a week and shut us down, right?
Yeah, they shut us down.
Yeah, they shut us down hard.
Because all four of those guys were actually Afghani police. And one of them was the nephew of the Afghani regional governor. But they were all bad dudes, right? Like
they all had uniforms on.
Yeah.
And so they were planning on trying to take out the Afghani president, and you guys got to him beforehand.
Yep.
Yeah. But it's optics, right? It just came out that we shot up a car full of Afghani police.
That's the whole kind of the press getting a hold of it, and you know, it's getting to the wrong hands. The guys that don't know what we're doing, they don't know the intel behind it.
And that's a military PAO officer who released that shit without confirming everything, right? So it happens everywhere.